here's the thing. Everyone cries about pain, but you asked for it when you cracked
Yeah.
open that book.
Yeah.
Why else would you pick up the book if not for pain?
Well, that's a very good point.
Right?
Victim blaming.
Oh, Selena likes books that make her cry.
Oh, yeah, that's
exactly.
If I'm crying, I'm happy. 5 stars automatically.
Exactly. It's about the catharsis of
yeah.
human emotion. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Off Book with Simon Teen. This is our second episode.
Yes.
Today we're talking all about fantasy books, and Amy's out sick. But luckily we have a decent stand-in / special guest. It's Chloe Gong.
Hi. I'm so
Hi.
excited to be here. Oh my god.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Fitting for our fantasy episode.
Exactly.
For anyone who doesn't know you, which, come on, get on board. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Well, hello, as you guys know.
Hi.
I'm Chloe Gong. I am the author of the Secret Shanghai Universe, starting with These Violent Delights and most recently Foul Heart Huntsman. They're a series of historical fantasies and historical thrillers set in 1920s and 1930s Shanghai, and I love fantasy books.
Me too.
So do I. They're the
This
best.
is going to be good because we're going to
Yeah.
have to fight over our favorite fantasies later.
That's what I love doing, fighting in fantasy.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's what your books are all about.
Exactly. I'm on brand.
Yeah. Very on brand. Let's start with our first segment, which is a game / trivia for Chloe especially.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
I
Like
have.
being tested.
Okay. So, these are, wait, I have to figure out if these are quotes or reviews.
Oh my gosh.
These are quotes. I'm going to read you the quote and you have to guess which book it's from.
Okay.
To help you out, there's one from each of your books.
Okay, great.
So-
Great. This happens sometimes where I will see, like, completely out of context people, like, talking about my books, and they'll be quoting me. And I'll be like, wow, what a great quote. I wonder who wrote that. And I'm like, oh, I did.
It was me.
So, I don't know how good I will be at this game.
Oh my god.
Like, I wrote that?
Yeah, oh my god. Okay.
Okay, which book is this from? Nation over everything, but not you, sweetheart. Never your life in exchange.
That's Foul Lady Fortune. That's
Yeah,
an
it
easy
is.
one. That's
Yeah,
Oliver.
Oh, Oliver! Oh, I love him. Okay. It didn't matter that he had her forever and ever to kiss, past death and into whatever afterlife existed. He still couldn't get enough of her.
Ooh, I think I know this.
That's Last Violent Call.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's, you know why I know that? Because it's too happy.
Yes.
Before the
Yes,
novellas-
Last Violent Call is like
It's
just a
love.
bundle of happiness, and then everything else is
Yeah.
just like,
Everything before
torture.
that, it's
So
angsty,
sad.
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Last Violent Call is like the dessert.
Oh,
It is.
yeah.
I call it my domestic fan fiction fluff.
It's the cozy fantasy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Honestly, living the dream, you get to write your own fanfic.
I know. Well, that's why I was like shooketh when the publisher greenlit it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
So good. I'm going to save you, and then I'm going to kill you.
That's Foul Heart Huntsman.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Is that Rosalind?
That's Celia.
Celia!
I know.
Oh my gosh, taking a little from her
Miss,
sister.
I know. Miss
I
Girl
like
was
it.
dainty, and now she's like violence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feisty.
I love that character arc.
Yes. I was raised in hatred, Roma. I can never be your lover, only your killer.
Okay, this one might actually get me because I think it's These Violent Delights. It's
It
not
is.
the second one yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 That's early arc. Yeah.
Ooh.
Early on, when they
Early
hated each
Romeo
other.
Juliet. Exactly.
I could never be your lover. Yeah, right, girl. Okay. I hate you. What he really meant was, I love you. I still love you so much that I hate you for it.
That's Our Violent Ends. That's the train scene.
Mm.
Yeah. I know that very vividly. Yeah.
Wow, 5 for 5.
I'm actually quite impressed. I do think you
Wow,
went
it's almost
easy on
as if
me.
you wrote those books.
It almost is as if I wrote those books, but you did choose the quotes that I have seen over and over again. So you went easy on me.
Good.
Nice, nice,
Good.
nice. Next time we should just like
Yeah. Go hard
intro,
mode.
like a setting
Mm.
line.
Yeah.
A setting
Yeah.
line or like a random character narration line.
Yeah. Can you imagine if we just like flipped open the book and was like random bit of setting?
That would really get me. I could not do that.
Yeah. Who could? No one. Okay, I think this one might be more challenging.
Okay.
These are reviews that Amy pulled from each book, so you have to guess.
They're all gonna be like, Chloe Gong should pay for my therapy. Chloe Gong wants me in a ditch. Chloe Gong killed me and murdered me and buried my body 3 miles out from the forest to the north.
I wrote that review.
That was so specific.
I didn't do that. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Literally, this is in all caps. That ending, though.
That could be any of them.
I know, it could be any of them.
Is there more? Is it just those 3
That's it.
words?
There's 4 exclamation points, if that helps.
Okay. Here's by the process of elimination. I
Yeah.
don't think it would be Our Violent Ends because that sounds like a shock, not
Yes.
a sad.
Yeah.
Therefore, it could be Foul Lady Fortune.
Okay. Is that your final guess?
Well, now that you've said that, no.
I mean, it could be.
It could be These Violent Delights
too, because
It could. It could.
Oh, it could. Something
Okay, let's go with These Violent Delights.
You got it!
Oh my god!
I feel like that was a team effort.
It was.
Selena, you really helped.
It was us and Emily's eyelid twitching.
It happens. I'm going to need some time to emotionally recover from this. Any of them.
That could be any of them. I'm gonna go with Our Violent Ends. Yeah. See, it has to be the ending if it's emotionally recover.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
it's book one of a duology, it's Chloe Gong with the heck.
Yeah.
You know, I was about to swear and then I stopped myself.
Okay.
Yep.
I know I often say books have me squealing and kicking my feet in the air, but no other books could ever compare.
Surely this has to be Last Violent Call. My fluffers.
The fluffiest of
Okay,
books.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
Nailed it. Chloe Gong, listen to me. These characters need a happy ending. It's really not up for discussion.
Okay, well, it has to be Last Violent. No, it has to be Foul Lady Fortune. Right? These characters need a happy ending?
I think it's a pre-review.
Oh, well, then it has to be Foul Heart Huntsman.
Yes.
Oh, so they haven't read it.
Oh, they haven't read
Yeah.
it yet.
Oh.
Okay.
They're
okay.
just threatening you.
They're just threatening
Oh, okay.
me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
As people tend to do.
Yeah.
Poor Chloe. As people tend to do.
And this one says, am I practically begging for pain if I anticipate this? Yes. Will I regret it? Hopefully not.
This sounds like another pre-review,
It does.
right?
But maybe...
Well, the only one
confusing.
left now
Yeah.
by process of elimination is Foul Lady Fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someone did write this, though, while they were waiting for it.
Oh, fair. I mean, they did get a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hopefully
Yeah.
didn't regret it, though.
I know. Here's the thing. Everyone cries about pain, but you asked for it when you cracked
Yeah.
open that book.
Yeah.
Why else would you pick up the book if not for pain,
Well, that's a very good point.
right?
Yeah.
Victim blaming.
Oh, Selena likes books that make her cry.
Oh yeah, that's
Exactly.
If I'm crying, I'm happy. 5 stars automatically.
Exactly. It's about the catharsis
Oh,
of
yeah.
human emotion. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, and if a book makes you cry, that's how you know it's good.
Exactly.
It got you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right in the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially if it's a fantasy book where you've like been put in that world
Yeah.
and then you get those emotions.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you're right a part of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
You won. You won the game. Good
Wow.
work.
Look at me.
Yay.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you guys. Teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We make a really good team.
We did.
Yeah.
Sorry, Amy.
Oh.
No. She's part of the team too. She pulled the quotes.
we left space for her, you know, in the
Yeah.
She's
spirit
here.
of yeah.
She's here in spirit.
Yeah.
Right next to
Amy.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Okay, second segment, fan questions.
Wow,
Are you
okay.
ready to
I'm
answer
so
some
ready.
questions submitted by fans?
I'm so ready.
Okay, let's get them out.
Okay.
Amy highlighted the good ones for me.
Fantastic. They're just all highlighted.
They're all highlighted. What was your favorite Roma Juliet scene to write?
the scene where they get the string out, and can I spoil it? I guess by the time
I think at
we're
this point.
yeah, at this point it's been 2
Yeah.
years. Okay, their marriage scene, because everything is chaos and things are falling apart and everything's on fire, but they still get a little moment of peace to themselves, because I think that is the true spirit of humanity, where you can find goodness and love even in the place of hatred.
Wow.
I'm gonna cry right now.
Wow.
When this gets edited, I want sparkles and a zoom on my face. Yeah, exactly.
That was so beautiful.
Wow. Okay.
There are about 20 Taylor Swift questions.
Wow.
But this one seems important.
Mm-hmm.
Can you reveal the Taylor Swift songs that are referenced in Fell Hurt Huntsman other than Last Kiss?
See, I reference Taylor so, liberally and, often that I don't remember which ones I put in.
That's fair.
Well, I think in general there are daylight references. There are probably a lot of Lover album references. But otherwise, I don't remember.
Yeah, the fans are just going to have to
Fair.
read and
They're
highlight.
going to have to get their
Yeah.
highlighter out and then
Yeah.
do a compare and contrast, as make your English teacher proud.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. This one is in all caps, and it comes from a user named Emily.
You're lying.
And it says, "Why do you love to torture us?"
Well, user Emily, I think that when readers feel a lot, that is truly being fully enveloped in a world. I think if you pick open a fantasy and you're like, well, I'm not that sad, you don't think about it after you close the book and turn the last page. But if you're sobbing your eyes out and, cursing my name, you're feeling things. And that's the
Yes.
human
So should we just
experience.
expect someone to die in every single one of your books?
Um,
Because I'm scared.
No comment.
Last Violent Call is fine. I mean, yeah, there's
That's
not
true,
murder,
that's
but
true.
like,
Yeah, there's
Someone did die, though.
A lot of
Yeah.
people have died.
But not the important one.
yeah, not the good ones.
Moral
okay?
of the story is to always be the main character of your own life.
Yes.
Yeah. Love
Honestly,
that.
that's just a good life lesson.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
That's what I do. I give life lessons from my wisdom,
The wisdom of your many years and
my
many books.
wise
Oh, yeah.
age of 24. Yes.
I love this next question. Who would win in a fight, Orion or Roma?
Oh, great question. Okay. This really depends on what stage of the books we're in, okay? So, Orion pre-experiments is going to lose for sure. This is
Yeah.
a playboy. He goes to dinner parties. He dresses nice. He looks pretty. That's it. Roma grew up in a gang. He will knock Orion out in one punch. He'll throw up afterwards,
Yeah.
but he'll do it. Post Val Lady Fortune, though, Orion would literally crush Roma like a bug because he has super strength. You can't go up against
that's,
someone with
yeah,
super
that's
strength.
unfair at that point.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Unless Roma shoots first, but then he would start crying. So he's not going to shoot first.
Yeah. I just see Orion and Roma pitted against each other, but then Juliet just swoops in and is
Right.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, canonically, there have been so many times where Juliet is about to lunge at someone, and then Roma just yanks her back. So
Yeah.
it's time that she does that too.
Yeah. She needs her
Yeah.
chance.
She does. She does. She's been waiting for it.
Yes.
She would love to tackle him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short story? No. never mind. Another Taylor Swift question. Which T Swift song fits Foul Heart Huntsman?
Oh, great question. Well, it starts very Last Kiss,
Yes.
as we all know. I would say it's very daylight.
Okay.
It's very just again, I already said this. It's very Lover album.
Did you listen to a lot of Lover while writing it?
I did. I absolutely did. I really think Rosalind's arc is so, like, you know, she had her could've, would've, should've. She had her Right Where You Left Me. And then she kind of phased into the, like, you know, Reputation era.
Yeah.
She's like, no one could ever see me. And then she's like, I can see you era. I'm just saying words at this point. Yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh, there's another Taylor Swift question. They're really good though.
Not enough.
I love this one. If you wrote a book based solely on a Taylor Swift song, which would it be and why?
Oh, great question. See, this really takes a lot of, like, you could argue that Foul Lady Fortune really is Right Where You Left Me in song form.
Yeah.
You know? Like, the song literally says, like, she's stuck at 23. And Rosalind is stuck at 19. So it's the details, but the vibe of it, I think, captures it perfectly. And I wrote that book before the song came out. So, you know.
You and Taylor.
Me and Taylor
I
are like
mean,
this.
Mind
Yeah.
melding.
If I had to write one off one song, oh my god, that's such a good question. That's a question I had to prepare for. Like,
Yeah, you might have to think about this a
Yeah.
bit. Put it in the comments later.
yeah, I'll think about it.
When this comes out.
My first instinct is to say, like, Evermore, like the song Evermore. That one just, it really, it gets me, you know? Yeah, maybe if
Yeah.
I do literary one day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
We
would
can
read
only
it.
hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll switch to a Shakespeare question.
Okay.
How do you decide how closely to stick to Shakespeare's original stories?
I always decide what is the big thesis statement I'm trying to pull from the Shakespeare
That's
play.
so smart.
Going back to college.
Hey.
Let's go.
Listen, I was an English major, okay? This is built into me.
You
I
can't put
always-
the English major away.
You can't. You
Yeah.
really can't. You can graduate, but that English major is always there deep
Yeah.
inside you. If I'm doing a Shakespeare retelling, I have to sit down with myself and I have to understand what is the thesis statement I have pulled from this play and what am I actually trying to say again? Like, what is important to me? Because otherwise you get so bogged down being like, oh, well, I should adapt this scene. I should adapt this character. And what about this iconic reference? And you have to know when to kill your darlings. Because, you know, if you decide, I think Romeo and Juliet is about two brave teenagers who would rather choose to die together than to continue perpetuating a cycle of hatred, then you're like, okay, other things such as a scene referencing them running away, like, okay, I can cut that. As long as it doesn't impact my end thesis, it's okay. And that's why so many retellings are so different. Because
Yes.
other authors decide on different thesis statements.
Ooh, yeah. Everyone has a different heart of the
Yes.
story.
Absolutely. Everyone
Yeah.
pinpoints a different thing they find to be the most important that the play is saying. And then they adapt it differently too.
Yeah. I guess that's why there's 8,000 Beauty and the Beast retellings, but I still will read all of them.
Exactly. They all bring something different to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Thank
That was
you.
a good
Thank
answer.
you. I went to school for this.
She was an English major.
I was.
Okay. Those were the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Ugh, there's just so many good ones. Sorry, just. There's one that says, which sick and twisted surprise, aka plot twist, was your favorite to write?
Oh, wow.
I think that might be the
That
best
person's
last one.
jaded.
Sick and twisted. Yeah, they
That
really said
person is
sick and
so
twisted.
jaded.
They really said it.
Oh, well, my favorite one was the plot twist at the end of Foul Lady Fortune. Which, when I say that, people are always like, which one? Because there are two.
Yeah.
In rapid succession.
Yeah.
However, I would argue the first plot twist in Foul Lady Fortune isn't actually a plot twist. Like, you know, with Our Violent End... Okay, here's the thing. Everyone yells at me for Our Violent Ends, being like, how could you? And I was like, the ending's ambiguous. Like,
Yeah.
it could be either one. Like, you have to fully, like, decide which one do you want to believe in. And it says something about the reader before it says something about, you know, the ambiguity. Because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, well, I just think they're dead. Then I'm like,
That's on you.
reflect on that. I'm kidding.
Get therapy.
Yeah. Apparently I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
But because Our Violent Ends has that ambiguity, I really didn't think Foul Lady Fortune revealing that like Roma and Juliet are like just lurking was that big of a surprise. There are also hints across Foul Lady Fortune that they are about to step in again. So really, when it was like the JM note, I was like, why are people that shocked? But then the epilogue pulled another plot twist that I really did want to feel like a plot twist, because so often when it comes to that character, the archetype we expect is like, oh, we underestimate them. We just think they're there to like pretty up, you know, the setting, and then all along, you know, they're scheming.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun.
What I've learned from your books is that you should never overlook a little sister.
Absolutely. They're always the ones that are, you know, doing this.
Yes. As a little sister myself. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, fans, for these amazing questions.
They were
Thank
quite
you,
great.
Chloe, for answering all of them. And we're going to go into our third and final segment, which is our war/discussion.
Well, you called it
War?
a debate earlier, and now it's a war?
Our debate/discussion.
Right.
Damn. Okay, I didn't even bring any weapons.
It's okay. The books are
Your
our
mind
weapons.
is a weapon.
Oh, words are weapons. I did bring a weapon, actually. I smuggled it past the security guard at the front desk.
Is it your earrings?
No, it's a knife.
You know what? I'm still mad that we don't have like knife letter openers for your books.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a discussion with the marketing
I really
team.
think,
Okay.
I really think that was a prime opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if you can't send that in the mail.
Yeah.
That's illegal, right? You can't send knives in the mail.
If it's not super sharp, it's probably fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it's a letter opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it should
Yeah.
look like a knife, and then when you pull it open, it's like blunt, you know? It's
Yeah.
a letter opener.
Yeah. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
like.
God, you don't have to like kill people.
Yeah. It doesn't have to draw blood. It just
Yeah.
has to cut paper
Yeah, exactly. God.
and threaten your enemies. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so for this portion, Selena, Amy, and I all chose our favorite fantasy series, our favorite fantasy standalone, and our favorite ship. So we are gonna pitch ours. You get to pitch Amy's ship because
Okay.
it was Ben Mars.
Okay, great. Can't wait.
And then we are gonna reveal. We made everyone on the internet vote. We'll reveal who they voted for, but not without hearing our arguments. So we could change their minds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's start with series.
Okay.
Because fantasy series is just like, and we'll let you share your favorite fantasy series as well. We don't want to,
Yeah.
disclude you.
Disclude me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Selena, do you want to go first?
Sure. Let me just.
Unveil what's
Oh, yeah.
hiding.
Look at Emily, hold this.
So we can't see the other ones. We don't know what's coming.
Legend Born and Blood Marked. So this is an incomplete series.
Thick.
But
Thick,
there's
yes.
lots
Thick.
of pages to
Yeah.
read.
I
Yep.
mean, I got through this in like 3 days total.
Yeah. I have read them multiple times.
I've read Legend Born twice. I read it the first time when I started working here, when it first came out. And then the second time I read it, right before I read Blood Marked. 'Cause
You have to.
yeah, you
Prepare.
have. I mean, you have to. And I think it was like a 2-year difference between, or maybe a 1-year difference between when I read Legend Born the first time and the second time. And wow, like, it really is just incredible. Tracy. Okay, so for people who don't know,
Give the
before I
pitch.
get ahead of myself, but for people who don't know, Legend Born follows Bree, who is part of this college high school program at UNC, I want to say, and she's just like really smart, just like a really smart kid. She recently lost her mom, which is like traumatic, obviously. And then she's just like walking on campus one day, and then she sees a creature out of nowhere, a demon, one might say. And yeah, this is when she's introduced to this whole world of the Round Table. It's an Arthurian?
Yes.
Arthurian?
Yeah.
Retelling inspired type situation, and it tackles so many amazing themes. What it is like to be a Black woman in America, what it's like to be just like dealing with the history of slavery and all those repercussions. And oh my God, it's just like everything you would ever want in a book series. And we only have 2 out of what?
I think it's
don't know.
4. Right?
I don't know.
Coming up?
We don't know. But it's incomplete, which means that we have more to look forward to.
More to
And I'm so excited.
come.
And they were all 5 stars and all just wonderful. And yeah.
Okay, that was a pretty good pitch.
It was. It was.
Thank you.
Solid pitch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Epic series.
Yeah. Tracy's brain is so big.
Oh my
Yes.
So big.
Oh my gosh. Bloodmarked had me like by the throat. It was like all throughout the entire
Hand on
It
throat.
was like there was no real break. Like the entire time it was just like there was no break. It was just like everything was so good. Back to back to back to back to back. And it was just like my mind was blown the entire time.
Yeah. And I feel super lucky that I've gotten to talk to Tracy about these books so many times, because you'll say like, oh, I love this thing, and she has like all of this history and backstory for it, and then she'll like go into these, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also find, I don't know if you know this, but Tracy took like a long break from writing generally. I think she said like 10-year break from writing, and then she produced this. And I was like,
What?
if that's not inspirational, I don't know what, like,
Yeah.
for this to be your first, like, whew, so good.
So good.
So good. Love you, Tracy.
All right, so yeah, pretty good fantasy series. I do love that series, but the one I am pitching is the Song of the Lioness series.
A classic.
A classic. Okay, and I'm pitching this one because I loved it when I was a kid. This series meant everything to me. If you don't know it, Alana dresses as a boy and takes her twin brother's place so that she can become a knight.
Wow.
So she like goes to the palace and goes through like, she becomes a page, goes to like night school, and she like meets Prince Jonathan and the roguish George and a cat who might not be a cat. We love a fantasy cat, right?
Love a fantasy cat.
They should all have cats.
They should all have cats.
I agree.
And this series just like meant everything to me as a kid. I don't know what it says about me, but I was, and still am, obsessed with stories where the girl cross dresses. Right? Like
Yeah.
Mulan, She's the
favorite
Man,
Disney movie ever.
this whole
Yeah.
series. Like there's just something about the girl like taking the power back.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So, if you haven't read these classics, you absolutely need to.
It's on my TBR for sure.
Yeah, these are the new covers. Just came
Beautiful.
out. It's beautiful. Although this is so weird. I was looking on Goodreads. A bunch of the old covers of this first book have horses on them.
Just
Are there any
horses?
horses?
Just horses.
Yeah.
There's one that's like just a horse head. And then there's one with like her and a horse.
Oh.
And I was like, why doesn't this one have a horse? I'm
Maybe
going to have
the
a
horse
discussion.
is just not that important.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. So I don't know why that first one just has a giant horse on it.
I think there was a time where a lot of covers had
Horse
horses
covers.
on them. Yeah, horse
Yeah.
covers. That was a thing.
Well,
Kinda
yeah,
like-
because there's a lot of horse girlies.
yes. It was kind of like, you know how there was the girl in ball gown
Girl in ball
cover
dress.
time?
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Horse cover time was also a thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived for horse cover time. That was my fantasy
So
jam.
target audience acquired.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it worked. So that's my fantasy series of choice.
Wow.
Yeah. Chloe, do you have one that you want to pitch?
Put me on the spot. I
I
could
know,
have come in
we did not
prepared.
prepare you.
Well, see, here's the thing. James has been staring at me from the corner this whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, you know, The Last Hours, also one of my favorite fantasy series.
Yeah.
Although it's like when I pitch it, I'm like, well, see, there's a prequel series with their parents,
Yeah.
and then I first got into it with their descendants in modern day New York, and then if you track it back that series and into that series, you end up with The Lost Hours, where there's a bunch of, you know, shadow hunters who are killing demons in London, except it's old timey, you know, it's 1910, 1909,
1903.
1903. Oh, even earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
And I just love it when there are, fantastical elements going on, but it's also historical in some way.
Yeah.
My favorite niche genre is speculative historical. Like,
Ooh.
I love it when you see. Do you guys know Pride and Prejudice and zombies?
Yes.
I love that subgenre. It's
Okay.
it's basically Pride and Prejudice. Now I'm just pitching too. Basically, it's Pride and Prejudice, and then the zombie apocalypse is a part of it as
Yeah.
well. Like
I
I
need to
just,
read this
it's
movie.
great. It's also a movie, fantastic movie. I love it when there are just things happening that are either magical or like demonic or like something involving swords and fighting and tough people looking
Yeah.
good. You
Yeah.
know, and then it's historical as well. My fave ever.
Yes. I love that. And I'm probably fun for the writer too. Because
Mhm.
you stick to the history, but then you get to add some
Exactly.
magic in.
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah. Like I love doing historical because I actually really love the research. So I like doing all of that. I like making sure it fits the atmosphere, and then you throw in things that add to it.
Yeah.
That's
That
a
makes
pretty
sense.
good pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I reveal now which series won the vote?
Yes.
All right, it was Legendborn.
Deserved.
Well,
Yeah. I can't even
Yeah.
be mad about it because it's such a good
Deserved.
It's
series.
so good. It's so
It's
good.
so good.
Hey, everyone's smart.
Yeah.
True.
So the fans
Yeah.
voted, but maybe after listening to our pitches, they'll read all of them.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, they definitely should.
Yeah. Next up, Standalone. We're gonna save ships for last.
Okay.
She's ready.
Wow.
Oh. Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. So, Vespertine is
Wait, I can't wait to hear you pitch this because it's a hard book to pitch.
it is, and I haven't read it for a while, so
Bear with us.
bear with me. So, Vespertine brings the vibes.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Mm.
it is spooky. It is like the perfect fall Halloween read,
Mhm.
but also like it's just a generally fantastic book all around that you can read any time of the year.
Mhm.
So it's basically about possession,
But fun possession.
but fun possession. So it's possession, but like you're very much present,
Mm.
and Artemisia.
Yeah.
Mm.
Artemisia is the main character, and she is a Grey sister.
Reading from the back.
It's been a long time since I've read this book, okay? But I know that I loved it.
You know that it's good.
I know that it's amazing. So basically, she gets possessed by what, like a revenant?
A revenant.
A
Mhm.
revenant.
A sassy one.
Which is like a
Sassy
he's
revenant.
it is very sassy. And it possesses her, but it doesn't possess her because she's like still of body and mind.
Mm.
It's just like there in her mind, and it's very sassy. It's like their relationship really just like is my favorite part of this
everything.
book. And the revenants are supposed to be like super evil spirit type things that like they always warn you about revenants, and it's like, oh no, nobody wants that. But this guy's just like this person spirit thing.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Genderless entity.
yes,
Mhm.
this entity is just like it's like a grumpy well, I wouldn't call Artemisia sunshine.
Grumpy.
It's like a grumpy pairing that's like the best. Their banter is so amazing. And the Revenant just like really it digs its claws into you in the best way possible. And generally this whole storyline is just like really epic. There's a lot of action, but like a lot of emotion at the same time.
You know what else I love about this book? And oh shoot, I'm blanking. Bonesmith does it really well too. I love when a fantasy writer builds a world and then has to, through a character, unlearn what they've just taught you. That is some of my favorite
Yeah.
fantasy. Where you're like, oh, okay, we understand this thing, and it's like, actually, everything you think is wrong.
Yeah.
And then you with the character have to like unlearn and like
Yeah.
relearn things. When you pair that with like enemies to lovers,
Exactly. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was Margaret herself who said this or if it was that someone else online said it and then she repeated it. But it's been comped to like Venom, the movie. Like
Yes.
Venom meets like medieval
Yes.
fantasy vibe.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this was really hard for me because Vespertine is like one of my favorite books of all time. But I was able to pull another favorite. Don't worry. Pause for dramatic effect.
Wow.
Something close to magic. This book does not get the love it deserves. Okay. Did you guys read Ella Enchanted?
I didn't, but I watched the movie.
I
Amazing
didn't.
movie.
It was when did it come out?
Is
The
it-
book?
It was a long time ago.
It's a
Yeah.
classic.
This is another one where it was like a book of my childhood. This book gives Ella Enchanted vibes. It's like that
Ooh.
classic fantasy feel.
Okay.
And the pitch is she is a baker. She is pulled into this adventure to rescue a hapless prince by this roguish bounty hunter. And then, of course, she and the prince fall for each other. There's like magic portals, an ancient troll. And it's just like this delightful romp
Yeah.
through this fantasy world. And it is just like a hug. This book is a cozy hug. And I think everyone should read it.
That's so warm.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah. Perfect
Great.
for a fall afternoon. Cuddled up on your couch.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my pitch for Something Close to Magic.
That was a good pitch.
It was.
And Chloe,
It
we
was.
didn't prepare you, but
You
do you
didn't.
have a standalone that you want to hype?
Which standalone did Amy pick?
Hers was So This Is Ever After, the F.T.
I
Lukens.
haven't read it. I was gonna be like, if I'd read it, I'll just
Then you could
take
just
over
pitch
and
it.
pretend to be Amy.
Yeah.
What is my favorite stand? Oh my god. My problem is that I don't read a lot of standalones.
There
I
aren't
am
a
the
ton of
same
standalone
Aren't a ton.
fantasies.
I'm
Yeah.
the
There are not a well, I think it makes sense because so often fantasies you like having the time to explore.
Yeah.
But then standalone fantasies do it really well. You know?
Yes, they give you the whole
They
world
give you the
and
whole
a full
piece.
story.
They
Yeah.
do, they do. All the ones I'm thinking about are
Yeah.
I mean, share the love.
Yeah.
I love Margaret Rogerson. She's
yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
Well, yeah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
That's
What are some
okay.
other ones?
That's
Throw
cool.
some at me.
We can pitch So This Is Ever After.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this is another favorite of mine. The standalone genre was stacked with Emily's favorites.
As it should be.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so This Is Ever After. The main guy was the chosen one. He and his like band of friends at the beginning of the book have like fulfilled the prophecy. They've taken back the throne and they're like, yeah, we did it. And then they realize there's like a second part to it and the main guy has to marry his true love or else it all falls apart. Or maybe he dies. One of those two. Probably all of them. All of the above. And so then he is trying to figure out who his true love is. And so he basically is like going through his like merry band of friends and being like, And the whole time his best friend is right there like, dude, I love you. And then, okay, spoiler, at the end he's like, oh, it was my best friend all along. And it's just like such a fun way to play with the trope. And you get this like delightful queer romance in there. And it's just really fun.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
a perfect pitch.
That was.
Thank you.
That was.
Really
That
good.
really was.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So between Something Close to Magic, So This Is Ever After, and Vespertine, the fans voted for Vespertine. And I can't even fault them
Understandably.
because I voted for it too online.
Understandably.
It's just so good.
It's so
It
good.
is. It really
so good.
is.
Yeah. Last part.
Last but not
The
least,
ships.
The ships. The ships. Selena, you going first? She's got
Well,
a box
I got the
set.
box set. Let me just put these down for a little bit.
I
Yeah.
also like that you kept the plastic wrapping on it.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm not
Keep
going to
it
damage
They're
protected.
this.
pristine,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Pristine. So, the ship. So, I took it, like, a little different because my ship is not just between two people. It's between three people.
That feels like cheating. I'm just saying.
But they're all my
Okay.
favorite ship. Okay.
That's fine.
So
That's
basically,
true.
Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, Shadow Hunters
Universe.
This is the earliest set book
Yes.
in the late 1800s. Was it Victorian England?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the whole series is just fantastic, but what really drives it home are the three main characters, Tessa, Will, and Jem. Will and Jem, so it's like, it's posed as a love triangle, but it's a love triangle that I think all love triangles should be.
Yeah.
And that it's like the perfect way to do a love triangle is my favorite way is that there's no like competition.
They all love each other.
They all love each other. And there's only love. There's only love here. And that's what I think is the most like heart-wrenching throughout the entire series is that Will loves Tessa, Jem loves Tessa, Will and Jem love each other, and Tessa obviously loves everyone. And it's like Will and Jem are so self-sacrificing that like they want the other person to be happy and are willing to sacrifice their happiness, but like we just want everyone to be happy. The epilogue of Clockwork Princess literally made me sob.
Yeah.
Me too.
Every time.
Yeah.
Like ugly cry.
Yeah.
It was bad, but also so good because the violin and the, you know what I'm talking about. It's so good. It's so good.
I truly don't think there's been a resolution as good as the Infernal Devices,
Yes.
like since the Infernal Devices.
Yeah.
Nothing has topped it.
Yeah.
That was a very hot take.
It was like
Nothing
no,
has topped it.
I think it was a very correct take.
Yeah.
It's just chef's kiss. Like everything was leading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hot takes. Do you guys remember when you first read the series who you were shipping? I'm super curious.
So I think in the first book I was shipping Jem more.
Oh.
Because I don't know, something about Jem. Like I think I always was a Jem girly, like for the most part. And this was back in high school. So I was a Jem girly, the violin, and like he was so sweet and just he was like just every like boy like a girl wants.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Jem always got my heart. But then I also saw how impossible it was. And I also still love William. Like Will was just so good too. But then by the end you're like Will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like Will, and then things happen. If you
Yeah.
haven't read this,
I know.
please
Everyone.
do yourself
Yeah.
a favor.
Yeah.
Anyone who hasn't read this at this point, it's like, come on, get out of the rock. Get out
Yeah.
of the cave.
And
Get
if
with
you
it.
need to know where to start with Cassie, I
I
always
would
say
start here.
Infernal Devices.
Well,
Ooh.
as someone who started with the Mortal Instruments, I really do
Interesting.
think once you get, I think
Yeah.
that reading it chronologically, not chronologically, publication chronologically
Publication
is
order.
good.
Yeah.
Because you get introduced to the world with someone who's not a part of the world, with Clary. So if you read 1 and 3
Yeah.
first, you enter in a way that is just very like new, and you start learning things, whereas in the Infernal Devices it feels more valuable if you've already known what Shadowhunters do because
That's
you
true.
caught up with the modern series.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So really
True.
what you should do is read the first 3 books of Mortal Instruments.
Yes.
Then read
And
Then
Clockwork
read
then
those,
read.
and then go back
Yeah.
to the second half of the
Yeah.
Mortal Instruments series.
Yes,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
it continues.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Chloe, do you want to reveal if you were a Jem or a Will girly?
I was a Will girly.
Ooh.
I mean, I think it's because, Will in the first book was very angsty, and I
so
have
angsty.
anytime it is like you have options and there's a nice one and the angsty one, I'm gonna go with the angsty one.
No.
It's just there's so much more like, pizzazz. You're like, what are they gonna do next? What curveball are you gonna get
But
thrown
also,
in?
Jem is like angsty.
I love Jem. Don't get me wrong. I loved Jem. But Will just had that extra bit of
Yeah.
Yeah.
angst to him, He's
And he
so
had that
tortured.
like charm and that
Exactly.
like, the torture.
He's so tortured. I love.
He is the epitome of torture.
Absolutely.
Till James
Amazing.
came along.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Hey, like father, like son.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why the James love triangle was also so entertaining.
Yes.
Because you know how, like, beautiful his father's love triangle was. And you get James, Cordelia, and Matthew, and you're like eating popcorn the entire time.
Just let me watch it.
Yep.
So good.
So good.
I have to admit, I was also a gym girly at the beginning. And then, you know, by book 3, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also it's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
My heart.
Oh.
So good. Okay, well, this is a tough act to follow. But I'm going to try. My ship, and there's been a hint here the whole time, is Elizabeth and Nathaniel.
You got props.
I have props from Sorcery of Thorns. I love this book so much that I bought this pillow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And even, I was in Prague last summer and I bought Sorcery of Thorns in Czech.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
That's fun.
just me continuing
That is
to be a Margaret Rogerson super fan over here.
Deserved.
I have to say though, Chloe, I found a bunch of your books in all of these like foreign bookstores, and I was
love
like,
it.
"Oh
I love
my
it.
gosh!" It's like
I
finding a friend.
I love knowing how to say violent delights in every language.
Yes.
Like, it's so random.
Yeah. Do you get
Yeah.
all the foreign editions?
I do, but sometimes they're just a bit slow. Like, I'll
Oh,
get them
yeah.
a year later or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, they show
International
up.
shipping. It's
Yeah.
like
A year.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Why Elizabeth and Nathaniel are the best? This is just the trope of my heart, where they're enemies to lovers, but they're only enemies because the world tells them they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, like Elizabeth was told sorcerers are evil, so like Nathaniel's evil, but actually he's a little cinnamon roll, and they're perfect together.
They are.
And
They
it's so good that they got their own novella.
Yes.
You know, this is just
It's so cute.
yeah.
It is.
Yes, right?
Yeah, it is really
Yeah.
We got this and Last Violent Call
Same
around the
season.
same time,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
living my best
And
life.
they're both like so just comfy
Yes.
Yeah.
and fluff and just
There was
like,
something in the air. We decided, like,
Yes.
we need a little bit of happiness.
Yeah, you and Margaret were like gifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then luckily, Amy's ship was Benmar's. So
I
can bring it on.
Honestly, okay, well, Benedict and Marshall as a ship are, you know, in concept, the most top tier that you could possibly ask for. Because what could be more angsty than being in love with your best friend and not being sure if the feelings are returned? So you love them so much as a best friend,
Yeah.
and you never want to cross the line into the romance, but then the potential, the longing, the angsting, you know, there's just, you hit every single element that you need in shipping a relationship before it's even hit the relationship. You know what their domestic life would look like, and yet it's that longing, and then the angst when they do cross it, and then they're not sure, and then there's all that miscommunication.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's the happiness that
Yes.
comes when
Yeah.
they
When they do
realize.
get
when they actually
together.
do
Exactly.
communicate,
Exactly.
And it works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 That's a good
It's a
one.
pretty
Yeah.
strong pitch.
That is
It
pretty good.
Yeah. Should we reveal who won the poll from the fans? I think
Yes.
we all know. It was.
Yeah. I mean, even I voted for that too.
Against your own
I
character.
saw the poll. I saw Benedict and Marshall, and I was like, I love you
like,
guys.
real gotta be real though.
Yeah.
Do it for James!
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. Obviously,
Yeah.
unparalleled.
I mean,
just
It paved
Yeah.
the way.
it paved
Yeah.
the way. It was just like the right
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
in publishing.
Yeah. If
And
I,
it's-
yeah.
I feel like it hasn't been topped. Honestly,
it hasn't.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really hasn't.
so good.
Yeah.
Top tier ship for sure.
Absolutely.
So I think, Selena, you won every single poll.
What can I say?
Taste.
You have good taste.
I have good taste. Yeah.
Chloe, thank you for joining us
Yes,
for this
thank you.
fantasy
Of course.
episode.
Thanks
of
for
Off Book.
having me.
This has been so much fun. We'll be back with another off book,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll get some more special guests in.
Hopefully.
We'll have to see.
Ooh, we'll see.
But I don't know, it's gonna be hard to top Chloe.
It will be. It absolutely will be.
Yeah.